Hi, today I want to talk to you about home visit as part of Singapore homeschooling application. In my case, I didn't know what to expect because at the time, there was no one sharing this kind of information with me. So having done that, having gone through that process and having my application approved, now I would like to make a video to share it so that, you can be more prepared, you can be less anxious. Home visit by home by the Ministry of Education officers. This is one of the steps required after all the paperwork that is submitted is kind of approved. That means the paperwork, for example, what are they, like the curriculum plan, the timetable, all the personal details, those are reasons for homeschooling, those are approved. Then is the home visit by the Ministry of Education officers. And that's the last step before approval or denial. Now, what is required? So they will normally tell, in my case, they tell us 2 weeks before the scheduled planned date of the home visit, and they tell us to prepare the original copy of our highest education certificate, and both parents and the homeschooling child need to be present. That's all they told us to get prepared. So when they come on the day itself, two of them came to our house, and first thing first, they went gone through a list of requirements with us, basically stating everything in writing, reading it through, walking us through basically some of the requirements. For example, the requirement to submit annual progress report by the end of the year, first week of November is the timeline. The requirement of another home visit in primary 3, the requirement of the need to sit for a national education quiz. I think it is in primary 4, and then the passing rate for homeschooling child is higher at the 3rd percentile for the PSLE or primary 6 leaving school final exam, right? That's the one at PSLE at primary 6. So having done that, for both parents then have to sign, and having done that, they went on to focus the questions on the homeschooling parent, in that case myself. And the questions mainly is to verify whether I'm the one who completed the application or not. That means, am I the one who truly filled in all the curriculum plan? Am I the one who filled in all the timetable? They actually ask us those kind of questions. So for example, they ask me questions like, how do I know? How is he progressing? How do I know where is him in terms of standard versus his peers in school? So I said, 2 things. One is I will use past year papers to gauge, and second one is I will see, because for example, I said English writing. So for primary 1, he needs to write at least 3 sentences, correct grammars. Then in year 2, he needs to write like at least 5 sentences, and then in year 3, for example, he needs to write like 50 words, for example, and then year 4, 80 words. Year 5, like 100, then year 6, 120. This kind of progression, I was able to tell them, and not just like fumbling there or mumbling there, right? So it clearly shows that I'm the one and I'm prepared, because I'm the one who prepared it. And the other thing was I printed out everything of my curriculum plan, my timetable, and curriculum plan for the core subjects, and also the citizenship and character education as well. So just show that I'm more serious, right? Now the next one is that they went on to ask me what kind of learner is my boy. So I'm able to answer immediately because I kind of know, and he is visual mainly, and then kinesthetic. Visual, then I can say, because he actually uses a lot of these flashcards in his wall, in his bedroom, and it's really effective for him. And he cannot sit still, so he learns best by moving. So these two, and kinesthetic is also one of the reasons in my applications for why we want to homeschool him. Then, to be clear, there are 4 kinds of learners. One is visual. Visual learns best by seeing, that means eyes. They use their eyes a lot. So that's why they revise best with things like mind maps, like flashcards. Second type is auditory, that means hearing. So they learn best by, let's say, reading aloud. If parent is able to read aloud to them, they love verbal instructions. They're able to follow instructions very well. Yeah, they rather listen to lecture. And the third one is kinesthetic. Kinesthetic, they cannot sit still. They learn best by doing. So like, if you want to explain a concept to them, it's best to use your gestures to act out. The last one is reading and writing. So this group of learners learn best by taking notes, right? Like reading a lot of text and taking notes. That's how they best retain information. So it is good for you to be clear on what kind of child you have. So because it's important, because you are the homeschooling parents, right? So because you want to help them retain information faster. Now, next one is study environment. They want to make sure, they want to take a look at the house, at the study environment, to ensure there's enough lighting, ensure there's no distraction, there's enough space, there's no clutter. Yeah, I think it's fair. And of course, the last one, they also speak to the child. I can't remember exactly now what other questions they're asking, but one of the key things is that they definitely make sure that he understood exactly that homeschooling can be quite lonely, because it's really just one teacher for everything and one child only. So these are the things that yeah, so I believe I have covered all the important points that I can remember and review here. I hope this is helpful to you. Okay, and thank you so much, and all the best in your application. Bye.